So yesterday, once I set up camp, it rained off and on pretty much the entire day. It didn't start raining really hard till after dark. That's partially why I'm not starting super early. It doesn't seem like there's beating the storm. I'm actually waiting on my inReach to give me another weather update. Though again, I find those kind of shaky at best. My stomach seems to have calmed down. I was able to eat and drink again, which was kind of worrying when I was up there. I had one little Bobo bar, and I had managed to get 2/3 of it down just barely. And I was very close to throwing up a couple of different times. I'm not sure quite what was going on. And obviously the having to dig continual cat holes, that was kind of problematic, especially when you're up there with wind chill issues. I've actually been thinking about the trail ahead, and I kind of came to a realization that I am somewhat dreading. After Breckenridge, I get to Copper Mountain Ski Resort, and I have seen the next 200 or so miles last year, and I saw it in kind of this spectacular configuration where, you know, the aspens were changing and I was the only one out there. And I keep going, oh damn, I really can't wait till I get to, you know, the San Juans and get to see a new trail. And looking at it, I wanted to jump on at Grand Lake and just go to kind of capture as much of that, you know, long trail, big throw, 6 months at a time as I could here. And I mean, I'm adjusting. I'm glad I got to see this section. I didn't really mind that little, you know, connector between the Grays section and Rocky Mountain. But I really don't think my heart's into this next like 200-mile section, because again, I've seen it. There's not much I can improve on. I mean, I could maybe not get norovirus, but that entire section around Salida, I'm going to be sitting there like stressing about norovirus. And me being me, I do always worry about the winter thing, because I really want to make it through the San Juan Red Line. So at least at the moment, my thinking is I'm going to pivot. I'm going to get to Copper Mountain, which is basically where the Silverthorn ult came on, at which point I've seen, you know, the collegiates and everything else. And I'll get picked up there and drop down at 114 where I exited and basically get on to the fun stuff. I got a lot of red line left, and I am going to be really bummed if I'm screwing around up here and then we get an early winter and I can't go through the San Juans. So yeah, change of plans, but that kind of feels better to me. But I mean, I wanted to get acclimated. I wanted to see the Rocky Mountain Loop and the Grays and Torreys section. So from a goals perspective, I mean, I've accomplished that bit. And there were cool parts of that 200 miles that I was like, oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool. It's just, I don't like repeating that much. It's pulling me out of the sense of just being out here and, you know, every day is different. The funny thing is the only argument I can really think of for sticking with the plan is I have a strong gut reaction against anything that makes it easier on me in the slightest bit, because I feel like I'm being lazy. So I'm basically off to Climber's Right of Climax Mine Road. So I could just go straight uphill 1,500 miles of boulder scrambling, or 1,500 feet, 1,500 miles, and then get back on the ridge. That's going to take so much time, and the weather's like it is. I feel like that's just asking for it. There's access to the ridge a little bit further. I'll miss a scrap of the ridge, but I need to get clear. Part of me really wishes I'd been able to make it the remainder of the way up to Upper Swan Road, because then I'd be free and clear. If it's going to rain or it's going to snow, that's fine. It's a little harder when you're up at 13 without bailouts. So that was what I came down off of. And yeah, there is fresh snow up there. So I had actually loaded a couple of local map layers in Gaia, just because I thought I may have to bail off. And if I had gone backwards, the last road I could confirm came all the way down was basically right where I reached the ridge, where those goat guys were. Everything else, it's these mines that just kind of peter out. Did I mention these bloody meadows are all bogs? And it's in the 30s or 40s. Obviously yesterday put me pretty much a day behind, since I didn't make that many miles between that head wall and stuff on the ridge. I also didn't eat much. I wasn't able to get anything down. I basically came down, got to the meadow, laid out in the sun a little while because there was a break in the clouds, put the tent up, slept for a couple hours, and then I had some crackers and mashed potatoes that I ate. I am just glad it's passed though. I've had Giardia and such enough times over the years. It's hard not to have kind of the consequences of coming down with that in a more remote area like this in the back of your head when things start to go wrong. This is Webster Pass Road. It's an offshoot from Peru Creek Road. Again, I have no idea how you pronounce it. Seem to have a lot of dirt bike activity, but it actually switchbacks right up to the ridge at about 12K, at which point it's more ups and downs, exposed to whatever the weather feels like throwing at me today. Incidentally, when I started looking at the bailouts around here on Gaia, I noticed I had a line going through here. It's like, huh, what's that? Gaia puts everything in one giant database and just shows you whatever you're viewing in the area, versus like Caltopo where everything is tracked on an individual saved map. And turns out this is actually American Discovery Trail. So I will hopefully come through this road again next year. It doesn't spend as much time trying to hop up in ridges and things, it looks like, which is kind of what I'm counting on, just being able to make, you know, a bit longer days. Oh, if this can just hold for part of the afternoon. So that switchback road, that was the pass I was trying to make yesterday, and I would have bailed down into this canyon. And unfortunately, if I get up there and have to bail due to weather, I get to come straight back down here, and I probably have one more day of fudge left as far as my food. Wow, look at that. A little bit of snow. I was briefly tempted to take that route up to the ridge. There's a peak right there that looked kind of cool. But there's no telling if the road goes. It's all old mining stuff. See, top of that canyon yesterday. Hey, they even put American Discovery Trail icon out here. Okay. Quiet for the moment, but almost too quiet. I just scared the ever-living hell out of myself. Thought I'd lost my sunglasses. Altitude. 2 more miles of this before the bailout. It looks fine for the moment, but it's been unsettled enough. And last weather forecast I saw said still watch out this morning. It is a shame because normally I love these high up bits. The up and down is, it's nice having views. Granted, my views ain't much at the moment. Clouds do make things look so much more epic when you're not running from them. Well, actually, even then they look pretty cool. I spent the last couple of days dodging weather going, oh, just let me get to the lower down bypass and I'll be happy. And then now I'm here, I'm like, oh man, maybe I should stay high. I mean, I'm only hearing a couple of rumbles off in the distance. That's me. Matthew Masochist, Never Happy Hengst. And I just got a rain alert, so I think it's probably time to go down. Yeah, weather report reads like, get the heck off the high country. I'm sitting up there at the junction thinking I get the precipitation alerts. So, okay, I turn down to head towards the low route, and then the sun comes out. I sit down to kind of think about it, check some things, and clouds build back up, and it's starting to come down, grapple. smelled wet goat a while back. And as usual, this weather can't just decide what it's gonna do. Sun and thunder at the moment. This may be a occasionally steep dirt road, but this is so relaxing after the last couple of days. No need to worry about what the clouds are doing up there, which is varying every 10 minutes. Okay, so here's the junction I should have seen if I'd come down the high country instead of wimping out due to the weather. Good news is, if I'm back here on the American Discovery Trail next year, it comes right through here. So I'll have another opportunity. So it looks like I've only got about 15 miles until Breckenridge. Won't make that today, but that makes that doable early tomorrow. That makes Copper Mountain-ish doable the following day. So I'll have to schedule my pickup for the day after that. Oh man, I love this sort of trail. Thunder and some combination of rain and hail. I appreciate it waiting until I was down this low. So much nicer to be down in the trees during a thunderstorm. Looks like I made the right call getting off the ridge though. And there's Breckenridge. Though like I said, I'm just gonna jump over the next mountain to Copper Mountain Ski Resort. No need to go get 4 or 5 days of food if I'm just doing one more day. And we'll repurpose the boxes we have. Feels real nice being at lower altitude. Trick is apparently finding water. Okay, normally I try and avoid spots this big because I don't like company, but there's enough of them out here and I am beat. I'm just a couple of miles before Breckenridge, but like I said in the morning, I'm going to skip that, head right towards Copper. I think it's only 17, 18 miles. I could technically make it out tomorrow, but works out better if I get there early in the morning because then my parents can pick me up, we can get everything done, get a hotel where I can do laundry, stuff like that, and then I'll be back on the trail the following morning. Efficiency. I did manage 22 miles today, and not all that was super easy. Big altitude change. It does feel nice being down here, but wind's picking up and I'm not overly protected. 6:49, home sweet home. So because I was in a hurry in the Viking, I went for one of the enduring favorites. I wasn't able to eat these for about a year, but now I can do them as long as I'm careful.